Especially you, Tanvir. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Wrestle Plug. It's time for the State of Wrestling Address. Every week we cover the wrestling news of the week and also talk a lot of shit because sometimes it's really boring, like this week. I am, of course, the Egyptian Death Machine, the king of shithousery, better known as the videographer of many a promotion that is, of course, Aeron Nix. Joining me this week, one half of the Tanvir connection. He is, of course, the man who puts wood in Bollywood. It's Tanvir Vatiavu.
As always, pleasure being here and thank you for having me.
Excellent. And of course, from Peacehaven, weighing in at exactly 180 lays, he is the king of bromance. He is, of course, the proprietor of Peacehaven, and he is, of course, the sexiest man in a Hawaiian shirt under the age of 25, that is. Anderson Tanvir.
Hey guys, welcome back to CWP Diamonds in the Rough 2023.
Right. Day 23 Diamonds in the Rough. Now we rank numbers 123 to 124. Diamond Durden and Danny Disorder.
Robbie Nitro.
No, there is no number. He's just a big fat zero because he's a fucking potato.
Cam.
And I'm sure he'll probably put some status up about how
I don't interrupt.
Tanvir, I swear down, if you've already started interrupting me a minute.
No. I said Cam and then
you understand me.
Sorry, I said Cam and then you kept talking, so I'm not going to interrupt.
You might not look like you're of age, but I will fuck you, sir. Right.
Oh mate, I'll gladly welcome it.
Yeah, me too, that's right. So let's talk about the biggest news, which of course is that Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns has been made official for Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. Never mind the fact that Tony Khan put out a tweet saying some BS in Saudi Arabia, which have then drew the ire of Booker T, who responded and said that Khan is not stupid. He responded by saying, yeah, but maybe he is in a lot of ways. But the big news, obviously, is the fact that it's going to be Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia. Cameron Anderson, you are the master of all things celebrity. Are you ready for Logan Paul and Roman Reigns?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a very interesting match to watch. Yeah, I've definitely got my eye on that one. Yeah, I think Logan Paul's been very impressive so far, but he stands no chance against the Tribal Chief. I look forward to seeing him lose his first match.
How dare you? Tanvir, Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns, good for business?
It is good for business from both sides, just especially seeing Roman in the press conference. That alone was money on how he rinsed. Yeah, so I think it's a good thing, and Tony Khan basically saying about Saudi Arabia is like, well, look at how much money they're getting from it.
Yeah,
it's like wasn't it a couple podcasts though that asked Cam of like, oh, if you were to be offered like Saudi money, would you? And Cam was no hesitation, was like, yeah. It was like no hesitation.
Right, mate.
Well, yeah, but it's like you put that money in front of you, like you know, I reckon 9 out of 10 people are gonna just like,
oh yeah, absolutely go
against their morals. I think a lot of people just like virtue signal online. It's like if that was in front of you right now, and you just had the opportunity to just solve all your problems in your life with that money, you do it. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you're telling me all these little melts online that are like, oh, it's so disrespectful taking blood money in Saudi Arabia. So if I slide $15 million on the table and say, here you go, all you got to do is go to the dusty vagine of the Middle East and have a little wrestling match for a couple of days and come back. No, out of principle, I'm not going to do that. No, if you excuse me, I'm just going to put on my pair of trainers that were made by a bunch of Taiwanese sweatshop workers while I text about it on my phone that was probably made by a Chinese slave labourer. Fuck off, mate. This whole thing of acting like Saudi Arabia, is it a terrible country? In some parts, absolutely. However, like you don't solve that by just completely shit canning everybody who's in that country.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think we've spoken about that before, where I've said, well, you know, there's areas to criticize all countries for. I've said in the past, like, the UK has done some terrible, England's done some terrible things under the British Empire. CIA has done some terrible things. So why is it, different when all of a sudden it's, in the Middle East?
Yeah. Aaron, I just want to quickly ask, because you're the most traveled out of, I think, the three of us. Have you actually been to Saudi or?
I have, yes. I've been
Okay.
to Jeddah. Yeah, in
Okay.
Saudi Arabia when I was admittedly much younger, when I couldn't
Yeah.
really appreciate it for what it was.
I don't want to sound. I don't want it to sound like being racist or anything. Of like, oh,
Yes,
there's
I know. I
Arab.
look like I belong in Saudi Arabia. Yes.
Yeah, that's why I phrased it in a slightly different way. But okay.
Yes, no, I'm not officially from Saudi Arabia, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not why I take up for shows in Saudi Arabia. I am half Egyptian, and no, they're not the same fucking thing. Think of it as good Arabs and bad Arabs, and I'm still furious that Saudi Arabia beat Egypt in the World Cup in Russia, but that's another story. Saudi Arabia versus Egypt in Russia. What could possibly go wrong?
Right.
We just put Iran in the group while we're here. Also, speaking of Roman Reigns and Logan Paul, Roman Reigns, obviously this must have been a work, but he responded to Logan Paul getting mouthy at the presser saying, it's just ignorance, man. It's fine from afar, but when I'm sitting on the same stage and I'm hearing some of that dumb shit spewed out, of course it's going to anger me and things are going to pop off. But at the same time, before he came here, no disrespect, didn't know who he was. I'm not a 15-year-old little girl. I don't watch Logan Paul or any of the Paul YouTube vlog people. That's not what I do. Good trash talk.
I think Roman smashed it. I think Roman in the press conference was like incredible, came across incredibly well. It's quite funny because Oki is the biggest Logan Paul fan I know. So Roman Reigns referred to him as a 15-year-old girl. Very funny.
I love the way you said that. 15-year-old girl. Very funny.
I just found it hilarious when I think Roman was being interviewed and he's just like, oh yeah, I thought Floyd Mayweather, like a little kid. I'm like, nice. Roman killed it in the press conference.
Roman Reigns is on absolute fire. I cannot stop watching back two things of Roman Reigns. I must have watched them like 15 times this week alone because I like to watch back promos and stuff for inspiration on my videos. One is the promo that was made for him and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania to Metallica, Hunt You Down. That was fucking sick. All Nightmare Long, I think is the actual song. And the other one is Roman Reigns' promo when he does the contract signing and he goes off at Lesnar and talks about how everything belongs to him.
Yeah.
And he calls him a farm boy, which I thought was very funny. He's like, you must be confused, farm boy. I was like, such good shit. He is absolutely on a tear. He can honestly do no wrong. Everything he's on is fantastic. And he's back on SmackDown this week as well, no doubt to hype the Logan Paul Express. And also, I love the fact that on SmackDown last week, Logan Paul, great account of himself, great promo, fantastic interactions with Paul Heyman, knocked out poor Sami Zayn, then was at ringside. Even though he's getting booed by the audience, he's doing great work. And I think this is smart for business. And also, ultimately, you can slag off the YouTubes all you want. This guy has millions upon millions of subs. He's going to have even more working with the WWE universe, so to speak. It's just money. It's just fucking money. And not only that, it's what the Saudis want, the Saudis get, including a mass amount of stoning.
Yeah, it's got the UK link as well because with Logan being with KSI's Prime, and then that links back to the Sidemen. So it's like, and they'll promote it as well, so they'll get more UK viewership on it. So
I hate the Sidemen.
Fair enough.
I just don't get it. It's frat boy humor. It's not really for me. But one thing I will say, you are correct though. It has a trickle down effect. A lot of these YouTubers working in conjunction with each other. So yeah, it's good for business.
Yeah, I just find it mental how the best wrestler right now and the most entertaining wrestler for me in the world are in the same faction. Because Sami Zayn's got my most entertaining for this year.
Yeah, if you'd said Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy, I would have actually fired you right on the spot. But yeah, no, they're brilliant. Like everything about them. One of the best tag teams in the world. The Usos, fantastic. I cannot get over how quickly Solo Sikoa has settled into a main roster.
Did they?
Looks like a big deal already.
Did they, to transition into a different bit of news, because you just mentioned I don't get why they stripped Solo Sikoa of the North American belt.
I think it was put on him as like a little publicity stunt to kind of say, you know, oh, here he is with the rest of the bloodline. He's got a belt. I'm disappointed. It would have been nice if he'd actually dropped it, unless he's injured and we don't know. He had a great match actually with Madcap Moss last week when he defended it on SmackDown. It's disappointing from a certain degree, but at the same time, it doesn't affect his standing on the main roster.
Yeah.
And I really wanted him to hold on to it for a while. I think it's very cool that NXT is starting to blend into the main roster more, but I don't know, maybe they just thought, well, we've got all these guys. If we take the mid-card title away from them, you know, how are they supposed to kind of eat as such? They need something to battle over. And if Solo Sikoa is not going to be available for NXT all the time because he's doing a lot of these presses and things with a bloodline, it makes more sense for him to drop the belt. But it would have been nice to see him actually drop it because it does devalue the belt a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah, it reeks to me of poor forward planning. Because if you think about it, they could have given him the North American title to have on SmackDown to elevate that belt. And they could have just easily slotted in the UK title as a replacement. But obviously, they've unified it now, so they can't do that.
Speaking of unification, very sad news. Mandy Rose and Tino Sabatelli get engaged.
Congrats to them. That's all I can say. Congrats to them.
No, Carl Wilkinson is crying right now. That's why he's not here.
Yeah, do you remember? I mean, he hasn't been seen since Alexa Bliss got married. Well, actually, no, he got seen once, and he looked, frankly, very on edge as it was. So, yeah.
Edging. He's edging.
He is. He's definitely edging. Yeah, he's had blue balls for about 7 years. That poor boy.
Yeah, man. Nah. He said he had a hookup last week with his Lily doll he got off WWE Euro Shop.
So, wrestling is about to hit the victory road. PWI Insider is reporting that a handful of big matches have been added to this Friday's Impact Wrestling Victory Road event in Nashville, Tennessee. Impact World Champion Josh Alexander is set to team with Rick Swann and Heath to take on Honor No More's Eddie Edwards, who teams with the OGK's Mike Bennett and Matt Taven. The match will be something of a preview as Alexander is set to defend his title against Eddie Edwards in the main event of October's Bound for Glory in Albany. Mickey James will also be in action on Friday, taking on Giselle Shaw. Come on. And if James loses, the former Impact Knockouts champion will be forced to retire. James and Shaw aren't the only knockouts that we're battling at Victory Road, as Mia Yim will be taking part in an intergender triple threat revolver match for a shot at the Impact X Division champion Speedball Mike Bailey. Bailey is set to defend his title against Delirious on Friday, as announced after Bailey's title defense against Mascara Dorada. As announced previously, Moose, Sami Callihan, and Steve Macklin are set to deal with their lingering issues in a three-way barbed wire massacre match. Also, Killer Kelly will face Tasha Steelz, and Impact Knockouts champion Jordan Grace will take on Max the Impaler, who was chosen by Grace's Bound for Glory opponent, Masha Slamovich. Father James Mitchell will be in Max's corner. Victory Road will, of course, be available on Impact Plus. We excited about this card?
It's great. It's a strong card, and it feels like this is the thing with Impact, is because you've got AEW and WWE, that Impact's just slowly getting like, it feels like it's swept under the rug when it's like, no, it's putting on these banger cards, and it's like
they're taking their time. They're really slow burning it, but it might pay dividends. They're getting bigger houses in. They're getting slowly an uptake in numbers. One of the biggest things, we mentioned this, I believe, last week as well. Like, I would like to see it back on a more regular platform. Like, I would like to see it aired live on British TV. So it was done like 2 days later, wasn't it? It was kind of like a delayed thing, and then they'd have it on Challenge, I think, at one point.
I remember.
And that's fine, but I'd rather watch these things live so I don't get caught out by the spoilers, especially as this is pre-taped as it is, so you can technically read the spoilers anyway, a lot of this stuff. But the fact that it's not on YouTube or even just on Impact Plus, like I think you can watch it on Impact Plus, but it's on delay, so you have to wait like a week or so. So the only way to really watch it, as far as I know, is on the Twitch stream, and that in itself you can't do because it's VPN blocked, so it's only available in America. So you have to kind of, the only other way is you can watch a stream that's done by Havoc. What's her name? Something Havoc. I forgot.
Jessica Havoc.
Jessica Havoc has her own Twitch stream and streams it while somewhat talking over it, which is, no offense to Jessica, good for her for doing that. But it's also that thing of like, I'd rather just watch it without any kind of commentary or anything. And it's just not the same in terms of quality. It just doesn't feel as accessible. And I think same with NWA. We were talking about how they took power off of YouTube, then put it under a payment platform. I get that because they have every right to make money, but at the same time, it then disenfranchises a lot of people, especially when they're already paying a tenner for the network, 10 quid for Netflix, 10 quid for Amazon Prime, £5 for Impact Plus. There's AEW on Fight TV, which costs money unless you want to watch it, you know, on delay on ITV.
Illegal stream.
What? Never heard of it. So, you know, but the bottom line is I would never do such a thing. Check out wrestling.in. But, you know, it's one of those things where you just think, there's so much I have, and there's so many little expenses in a cost of living crisis. Make it as easy as possible for people to consume your product. And if you're going to stream it, make sure, and it's a paid stream, make sure it's live. So at least people can watch it live and enjoy it, or, you know, in retrospect, at their own leisure as soon as they want to see it. Maybe if they are in Britain, they can wake up the next morning and go, right, it's time for Dynamite, it's time for Impact, whatever. If they can't do that, or it's not readily accessible, they probably will forget about your product. And I do think that's one of the reasons that Impact doesn't get the numbers that it should do.
I remember for a brief bit when Impact was on Channel 5. And Channel 5 was great. And I
remember Channel 5 for my soft-core erotica on a Saturday night. Marvelous stuff.
What do you mean? They aired the emoji. Oh, no, they aired the Emoji Movie during the Queen's funeral. Channel 5, the lads.
I did wonder why the Emoji Movie was trending. Like, I personally think it's disrespectful that the Queen's funeral was placed at the same time as the Emoji Movie, and I'd appreciate it if people had a little bit more class in the scenario. But
I think what they did on Channel 5 was it went from the Emoji Movie straight into Paddington 2.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, while the Queen's funeral was going on all the all the other channels.
Favorite thing, wasn't it? She loved Paddington as well. Like
Channel 5 just said, "Fuck it, and we're gonna air what we want."
Coming up in 10 years' time, when King Charles passes away, Channel 5 airs the Winnie the Pooh horror movie. Like,
yes, Pooh, rest in peace, Eel.
And no, I will not be fucking watching that movie ever. Fuck you guys. Not happening. We'll discuss that in the any other business portion. So,
we can watch
cryptic music playing during WWE Raw and at WWE events. The Jefferson Airplane song, White Rabbit, which, by the way, is a banger and make a fantastic theme music. I actually thought about having it as my entrance theme, but a little too slow for me. But this obviously has sent the internet wrestling community into a rabid frenzy because they believe, pun intended, that it is Bray Wyatt's imminent return to television. Are we buying this, or are we getting forced to mark out over something that may not potentially be what we want?
I don't know.
All right, good answer.
It's gonna be Keanu Reeves or Bray Wyatt dress up as Morpheus.
Nah, it's Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling will make his WWE debut this Friday on SmackDown. Mark my words, it will happen.
Remember when Ryan Gosling replaced Jake Hollister as a picture for the 6-man Dirty Scramble match that you're on that podcast?
What a moment that was. Cheers, Ryan, for filling in for us.
Because poor Jake Hollister couldn't make it for the podcast, so we just put a picture of Ryan Gosling up and assumed that would be a more than tolerable replacement.
It's gonna be Lawrence Fishburne. He's just gonna appear.
No, when are we getting Jake Hollister back over though? That is my question.
Jake Hollister is a fucking gangster. I love Jake Hollister. Him and Franco Varga are easily still to this day two of the best people I've ever worked with. But yeah, I hope it's Bray Wyatt. I think that Bray Wyatt coming back to WWE is perfect because God knows I don't want to see him on Dynamite where he'll have a 3-week stint like Malachi Black and then shit canned or end up having a bad depressive bout. Like, WWE is the place for him. They have the production value. They have the TV scales to do it. They can do the cinematic stuff again, which I think is quite nice. There's a lot of scope for it. So we'll see what that incurs. And also Bray Wyatt is legitimately somebody who could knock off a world champion. And I feel like they're running out of options for who could potentially dethrone Roman Reigns.
Cody.
What about Ryan Gosling?
I'm down. Book it. All right, moving on. Young Bucks break their silence on their AEW suspension. Young Bucks changed their Twitter bio to suspended as fuck on Sunday night. That apparently is pretty much all they revealed, other than the fact that being the elite is currently on hiatus, probably because balance. Young Bucks, do we care at this point, really? It seems to have already fizzled out pretty quickly. It seems like everyone's only really focused on what they're going to do with CM Punk.
I mean, with the Bucks, I don't really care. It's just the thing is, Tokyo Game Show was this week, and Kenny Omega was over in Japan as part of the Capcom TV bit, and you can see the bite mark on his forearm. You can see the bite mark from where Ace Steel bit Kenny on the
He
Capcom.
must have chomped in pretty hard then. He must have gone full Tyson on the guy.
Yeah, you could see it, and people were pointing it out, and it was like, oh yeah, that's pretty visible.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So with the Bucks, they're kind of keeping it on the low down, whereas Kenny Omega just went, oh yeah, I'm suspended. I'm gonna go to Japan and just go to Sega and just chill out with Ibushi.
Fair. Cameron Anderson, anything to add?
I don't know. I feel like, yeah, the CM Punk thing is more interesting because we don't know where it's going to go. I feel like Young Bucks, they're just going to come back in a bit.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, I think
Well,
CM Punk, there's a lot more sort of intrigue of what could potentially happen. Is he gone forever?
He should
Who
go.
knows? Is
I'll
he
tell you
going to be
what
at
does
CWP?
I'll tell you what is very exciting. To quote Kel Mitchell, oh, here it goes. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is getting back in the ring later this year. And it is giving his recently retired rival Ric Flair the itch again.
Oh my
I'm
god.
happy for him, Flair said on the latest episode of his To Be the Man podcast. Every cunt's got one, yes, including us, and we're aware that we're cunts. I think it's great. Steve Perkins, promoter of Big Time Wrestling, is a great promoter, so I wish them all well, whoever's involved. I don't know the situation. At no point, though, did Flair address the fact that Steamboat reportedly turned down an offer to take part in Ric Flair's last match, but the Nature Boy is happy for him regardless. It's one of those deals where nobody's ever going to be Ricky Steamboat, Flair continued, so they might as well watch him while they can and enjoy the opportunity because there never will be another Ricky Steamboat. At entry level, he's better than 50% of the guys in the business today, and he wouldn't get in a ring if he wasn't. He holds himself to a very high standard. I imagine he'll probably look better than the guys he's in the ring with because he's always in good shape. Later in the show, the 16-time champion confessed that Steamboat coming back makes me want to come back again, much to the surprise of co-host and son-in-law and Flair's last match promoter, Conrad Thompson. I went back up to Lincoln and started training again, Flair said, with no inclination as to whether or not he was serious. What else is there to do? Question mark. So, Ric Flair versus Ricky Steamboat one more time, yeah? The Chi-Town Rumble. We all down for that?
Nah, I think what the people really want is Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair versus Bromance. Surely we can make this happen, guys.
You will literally give them a heart attack.
One thumb up means that we will book it.
So
one thumb up on this
normally
video.
Get 4 or 5 likes if we're lucky, unless something goes viral. So I don't know. If anyone wants to admit something now that might cause an absolute stir on the internet, that might help the premise.
One thumb up, and we will make this happen. 100%.
Just one thumbs up is all you're after to make Bromance versus Steamboat and Flair happen.
But
Hey guys, let's aim for 2 likes, okay?
All right, yeah. One for Cruz and one for Cameron.
Don't forget about Victor.
Who?
Yeah, no, Logan's taking that match, not Cruz.
What? Even though he abandoned you for Jackson Arrow?
Yeah. Well, you know.
Have you noticed this?
I just...
Other than you, all the tag guys in Bromance, they all seem to just run off with whatever partner's available. I don't want to insinuate that the Bromance are a bunch of sluts, but they're a bunch of sluts.
Yeah, no, because I actually had a different tag partner on Saturday, didn't I? So
Who was it, Cam?
it was Barry Cooper.
Is he related to Barry Scott by any chance?
Bang,
No,
bang!
actually.
Does
So
he
shockingly
finish
enough.
with Sillet Bang?
No.
What about brand new kitchen gun?
I don't know, to be honest. I can't remember.
Does he deal with limescale, rust, and grounding dirt? So
Yeah.
you need all of
Bang!
You'll need all the humor you can get for the next news topic. Huge update on Patrick Clark's assault case. Yeah, I know.
Now this is epic, guys.
Is this like a month? The month of Patrick Clark news. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Fucking
The
Christ.
Velveteen
One
Tiger.
like, one
no,
like, and
one
Patrick
likes
Clark.
finished. No,
One-
like,
One like
one-
and one like and Patrick Clark will touch up Cam.
What the hell?
Yes,
That's
right.
so much worse than what I was gonna say. Jesus.
The Wrestle Plug does not condone any touching of anyone of a young age. 1 week after being released from Seminole County Jail in Florida, PW Insider has a new update on the pending court case of Patrick Clark. Court records indicate that Clark's upcoming court appearance, initially scheduled for August the 20th, surrounding charges of battery and trespassing, has been cancelled. Information provided by the court points to a lack of evidence in the case, leading the prosecutors to label the case not suitable for prosecution. As noted, police records stated that Clark got into a physical altercation with an employee at the Club Orlando Fitness Gym after being asked to leave a portion of the gym for it to be properly cleaned. Clark became irate and argumentative towards the staff member, so he was asked to leave the facility altogether. It was then that the former NXT North American champion allegedly threatened the employee's life, resulting in a fight where Clark was said to have bit the man in the left pec. Seems pretty good for a steal. Why not for Patrick? Clark ultimately entered a plea of not guilty and was released on a $1,200 bond, which, according to PW Insider's report, was released back to the person who put it on 9/9. Don't know what that quite means. Oh, or maybe that's the day. Clark was released from jail on September the 13th, 2022. The latest arrest triggered a probation violation stemming from previous charges of possession of cocaine, use of possession of drug paraphernalia, destroying / altering / concealing physical evidence, and having no lamp / illuminating devices in his vehicle. I think if he had drugs, he probably had a lamp of some sort. When that incident occurred, Clark was incarcerated for 25 days in the same county jail. Clark was released by WWE in May 2021, but had not appeared on television since losing to Adam Cole in December of 2020. So, not enough evidence to prosecute Patrick Clark. Maybe someone should have a look at his phone. How about that? What do we think about that?
Yeah, that's pretty heavy. You know, poor little gym guy's just trying to do his job, clean up the weights, making sure there's no everything is up to code, and Patrick Clark just comes out biting.
Clark was in there.
Yeah, disgusting actions from Patrick Clark.
What do we think about Patrick Clark volleying back, by the way? Right after we'd done the State of Wrestling address, he literally went online and said, that was from last week, that EC3 basically was kind of bullshitting when he said that Patrick Clark was using his phone to record people's nether regions, and apparently, allegedly, there were drugs and all sorts of paraphernalia at said party, and EC3 was doing some extracurricular.
So, yeah, I believe he said, and I quote, "What kind of powder was on the table, EC3?" And as we know, there are many types of powder.
Talcum?
Personally, yeah, I was going to
Protein?
say, could potentially be talcum powder. Baking powder.
Still haven't watched Bake Off yet. I can't believe Bake Off has started, and I haven't watched any of it yet. I'm going to have to binge it tomorrow.
Next week's Bread Week.
Oh, Bread Week is my favorite week, so but I normally watch it live. So, I love Bake Off. I am happy to admit that. I think it's fucking amazing television. I think Paul Hollywood is an absolute dreamboat, mate. Those eyes, oh my god. Anyway, yeah, so Patrick Clark allegedly looking at people's wangs, EC3 doing coke allegedly. Yeah, good stuff, I guess.
Yeah, to be honest, like, I know obviously cocaine's illegal, but it's not that much of a back serve, is it, from Velveteen Dream? Because like EC3 is an adult, like he knows what he's putting into his body. Like, I don't know, I've got no qualms with what another adult chooses to put into their body. So not too much.
Aeron Nix does cocaine in the locker room with bromance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really about that life, but Aeron Nix.
I bet Cruz snorts lines off of Victor Logan's hairy chest, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm neither going to confirm or deny it. 1 like equals he does. 2 likes equals maybe on a Saturday.
He does. Oh my.
But Oh my. Vicky Guerrero has confirmed AEW are talking about doing a show in the UK soon. AEW is venturing into Canada soon, and there have been talks about doing AEW outside of North America. She said there is talk of us going to London. She's a coach, apparently. God knows in what, other than screeching like a dead albatross. On Captain's Corner. We're going to be in Canada pretty soon, so we'll be in Toronto. So I think with the world opening up and Tony Khan working on some overseas dates, can't wait to get back to London. Now, it is obviously reported many moons ago, right before COVID struck, that apparently the Fight for the Fallen pay-per-view, I believe it was actually scheduled to be in London at that stage, and then they had to cancel it, obviously, before they got a chance to even bother announcing it. AEW in the UK, yay or nay?
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah,
I'm a slut for a good time.
Well, because I know WWE
Cocaine in the locker room, still confirmed.
Because WWE runs the O2 Arena, what arena would AEW run? The Copper Box or something? I know they don't own it, but
they're not like that. Vince McMahon just really got that fucking O2 belongs to me. You
would they?
Obviously, they're going to run Oasis Hub, Lords Hill Academy.
That's
how many fans of AEW there truly are.
Would AEW go for the obvious route and do Craven Cottage, or
that? Do you know what's really weird about that? Somebody mentioned that to me earlier that I was talking to, and so yeah, I honestly can't remember who, which is a bit weird. And I was discussing it with them. Oh yeah, it was Frankie T actually. I was chatting to him earlier, and he said they should run it at Craven Cottage. It seems like an obvious route. The problem is that Craven Cottage isn't really designed with those kind of things in mind. I would love to go out, obviously, as a closet Fulham fan, and my stepfather's family all support Fulham and stuff, so that'd be pretty cool. I've gone to a lot of games there, but like ultimately it depends on how many tickets they think they can sell. I think they would be smart to do an arena show like the O2 or something. If they can fill that out, then possibly move to a stadium show. But of course, all the AEW marks are going to be like, it's got to be like Clash of the Castle. We've got to beat WWE. We've got to have more people. And I actually don't think they would sell as many tickets.
No, they wouldn't. I kind of feel that any company like a New Japan or a AEW or even an Impact, if you're going to come to the UK, specifically London, try get the Copper Box. The Copper Box is such a great venue.
Yeah, it was for the what was it?
It was a Royal Quest.
Yeah, we went to that, didn't we? It was really good. Really,
I love the Copper Box is such a brilliant venue. So that's why I'm like,
what about Ali Pali?
Close, didn't they?
Ali Pali's a good shout.
It is. It'd be interesting though, because obviously Progress, along with WWE, they use the Ali Pali a lot for Super Strong Style. They didn't this year because of dwindling ticket sales, so they moved it to the Electric Ballroom in Camden. These are all great venues, though. These are all great venues that you should absolutely go and watch wrestling in anyway if you get the opportunity, because the atmosphere is amazing. Did I hear right that New Japan are going to run another Royal Quest?
They are October 1st and October 2nd. I'm going to the October 1st show.
They sold tickets already. Tickets already on sale.
Night 1, October 1st.
October 1st is almost sold out.
October 1st is sold out. They confirmed that today.
Right over my head. Nobody told me. I think Cameron mentioned it in the group chat, but other than that,
they've only announced one match for night 1, and it's Aussie Open versus FTR for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles.
Okay, we need to get tickets. And we need to go.
Yeah, so night 1's completely sold out. Night 2 is I still think there's tickets available for night 2. I'm not going to night 2 because I already had something booked.
What's the cost?
I think it's maybe like 60 or something.
What is it for good seats, near the front or whatever?
For near the front, I think it's like at least 150 or something like that. 150.
Okay, it's not Clash at the Castle level, so it's okay. But
yeah,
I'll have a look and see what kind of ticket prices.
Yeah. Especially with the amount of guys coming over, because I think it's Okada, Jay White, Sabre Jr., Ospreay, Aussie Open, FTR, Jonah, Bad Dude, Tito.
A lot of good names then.
A load. I think maybe even Tom Lawler might be coming over. I'm not too sure. But yeah, a lot of good names coming over for Royal Quest 2 in 2 weeks' time, October 1st and 2nd at Crystal Palace Leisure Centre. I think it's the same venue that ROH used back in 2018 for
It was on sale for that yet?
I don't think so. For Honor
Keep me
United.
updated on these things because otherwise they'll go over my head.
Yeah, with
In British independent wrestling as well. Like a lot of times, but I could afford to go to a couple of these shows, and I actually would really like to see FTR live because I haven't had the pleasure.
Yeah, so I know
Yeah, no, I did put it in the group chat, and I think like Azzy got back to me, and then fucking Whittles just blanked it off.
Oh, that was because
like,
he was on
classic.
Snapchat. Put it in the actual
Yeah.
Wrestle Club group chat because that
All
Snapchat
right.
group chat is fucking that is ratchet. That one, mate. Like, don't even-
Mate, fucking Archie and George are like George
'cause
won't
they're
even
the
come to
Whittles,
watch me
dude.
wrestle in Peacehaven,
That's because they're
and he
doing
lives
hand
4
jobs.
roads away.
Aaron,
They're doing
Cam.
hand jobs in Peacehaven for crack for miles. Like they ain't gonna fucking turn up and do this shit, are they? A couple of fucking gimps is what they are. Gimps, you fucking twinks.
Mate, George has literally already pulled out the work excuse rather than seeing me wrestle in October in Peacehaven. Like Cruz has offered to come. Yo, what's up?
When you turn heel instead of Peacehaven, will it be Chaos Haven?
No, it's not gonna be Chaos Haven. I'm never gonna turn heel. It's gonna be Peacehaven
You fucking
forever.
are. You fucking are turning heel, like bullshit. Like everybody who has a fucking gimmick that's over like that, they eventually turn heel. And also, let's be honest, you kind of already are heels because you're fuck boys. So it is what it is.
Wait,
but
what?
Yeah, we're lovable fuck boys.
Bottom line,
You know, we're woke kings.
Cam,
if you
you're
want
a
me to
nonce.
actually go, put it in the Wrestle Club group chat where people have.
Wait, what?
I just heard fuck. I just heard fuck boys, and I'm like, yo, Cam's a nonce.
Why is that nonce? You're not aware of the term fuck boys.
I am. I'm just making a really shitty joke.
He's just implying you're a paedophile, apparently, which
Yeah.
of course the Wrestle Plug does not condone.
Why do I do this show? Why do I do this show every single time I come
Cam,
on?
I love
Cameron's a feeder.
Oh, I cannot wait to isolate that soundbite and splice it in with some of Aaron Cruz's podcast. That is going to be joke. Well, Cameron Anderson is a pedo. Do you remember that one where we did? I did an interview with Cruz, and I think he said something like, "Oh yeah, it's definitely something that I could see stretching the imagination or something." And we were just like putting horrible fucking words in front of it, just terrible, absolutely terrible. Look forward to more not edited sound bites in a future day.
I feel bad for kind of pushing this narrative for Cam now.
As you fucking should, you disgusting human being.
Like
There's nothing funny about insinuating that a member of the bromance, especially as, let's be honest, a lot of the bromance's fans look like they're the ones who would touch them, and they're the young boys. I see you on Facebook, whatever your name is, putting the fucking bromance as your cover picture. I see you, Ballard, getting all thirsty in people's DMs, fam.
Like last time I was.
Yeah, the whole bromance mob are, way above the age of consent. So
way above is an understatement. They're above a lot of things, not just consent. The less said about that, the better. Right, we have one more news topic that I have to discuss. Then I will open the floor to Tanvir to no doubt talk about some news that he wants to talk about. So I have a list here of the longest title reigns in WWE history, and I want you to very quickly tell me whether you think these are good reigns or bad reigns. Get it? Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's the joke. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the joke. So, right, we're going to start with at number 12, Rockin' Robin, who was the WWE Women's Champion for 502 days.
Never heard of him. I feel bad.
Women's champion.
Rockin' Robin. You don't remember Rockin' Robin? You bloody kids, honestly. You have absolutely no taste. All right, moving on to the next one.
You did say women's championship. The Tanvir just said I never heard of him.
Women's
I never heard of her. My bad.
Yeah. She basically, so long before modern stars such as Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch would dominate the ring, phrasing. Names like Rockin' Robin stood at the forefront of the WWE, debuting at Survivor Series 1987 in one of the event's trademark tag matches. She quickly rose to the top of the company's women's ranks. She ended up butting heads with then WWF Women's Champion Sherry Martel and ended her reign on October the 7th of 1988, going on to hold it for 502 days. But apparently nobody gives a shit. So we'll move on to number 11, which is Kaylee Ray.
I feel bad. I feel bad that I don't know who Rockin' Robin is, but
yes, we will. Anyway, nobody cares. Kaylee
Every day's
Ray,
a school day. Every day is a school day, Tanvir.
Yes, it is, and he would know. Kaylee Ray, WWE United Kingdom Women's Champion. Shut up and let me get to the next one. Kaylee Ray, 649 days as NXT United Kingdom Women's Champion. Yay or nay?
Yay.
Cameron Anderson, you don't even know Katie
Oh,
Ray, do you?
Who?
Oh, okay.
No, no, sorry. We're
Cam
Alba
hates women.
Fire fans in this house.
Cam hates women.
No, I'm an Alba Fire fan in this house.
You're a fan of shit gimmicks. Okay, cool. Pete Dunne's NXT United Kingdom Championship reign comes in at number 10 at 685 days.
Yes, Queen.
Who?
Magnificent. Cameron Anderson looks offended by your use of the term Yas Queen.
Who?
Who?
I don't know this. Pete Dunne, fella.
Also, I think it's highly inappropriate to use the term Yas Queen considering what has been going on lately and, of course, the passing of Her Royal Highness. So, highly
Not my
disrespectful.
queen.
Yikes. Number 9, Roman
Let's not touch
Reigns,
that.
currently with his ongoing reign as Universal Champion.
Oh
Who?
yeah. Romans reigns.
Fuck it, this isn't the AEW all-out predictions. You don't have to stick all over it. And also, it's got loads of British talent on it, so you should be loving it. Number 8, Volta as the NXT United Kingdom champion for 870 days. Yay or nay?
Big scary Austrian man gets a yay.
That's one of the best reigns in the history of titles.
Mid.
I hope you fucking die. So, number 7 is the Glamour Girls, who held the WWF World Women's Tag Team Championships for 906 days.
Who are the Glamour Girls?
They are, to be fair, very old school. 1980, National Wrestling Alliance sold the NWA World Women's Tag Team Championships to the WWF, if you can believe that. Velvet McIntyre and not that one. Velvet, that's a bad combination of wrestlers, isn't it? Velvet McIntyre and Princess Victoria were champions when the titles were formally integrated into the WWF, though the latter was replaced by Desiree Peterson following a career-ending neck injury in 1984. The following year, the team of Judy Mine and Leilana Kai would not only be awarded the titles, although they technically won them, believe it or not, at a WWF event in Egypt.
Ooh, awesome.
Which means, of course, with this new news, that this is by far and away the greatest reign in the history of wrestling.
This is your new favorite team.
Egypt.
Brilliant. Number 6, Pedro Morales, who held the WWF World Heavyweight Championship for 1,027 days. This is back in the 70s, by the way. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I guess nobody has it. Yeah, it's pretty cool, to be fair. Bruno Sammartino comes in at number 5 as the WWF Heavyweight Champion for 1,237 days.
It's Bruno. It's Bruno Sammartino. So yeah.
Well, I watched a video once. I think he said he wrestled an orangutan at a circus.
Cool. I could make a horrible joke, but I'm not going to. I'll tell you after the podcast. Number 4 is Hulk Hogan's WWF World Heavyweight Championship reign of 1,474 days. Because it's Hulk Hogan, go fuck yourself. Any opinions on that?
Oh?
Yeah, exactly. Number 3, Bob Backlund held the WWF World Heavyweight Championship for 2,135 days.
Bob Backlund.
Now we're talking. This is an actual champion.
Bob Backlund's a badass.
Backlund would destroy Walter in seconds. Walter would literally get mate. If it was Walter versus Bob Backlund at Clash of the Castle, would have gone 18 seconds.
Bob
Chicken
Backlund's
wing
a badass.
tap out.
Bob
Backlund's
so cool.
Modern day Bob Backlund could have whipped Walter.
I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that.
I fucking would. Shut your mouth.
It's Bob Backlund.
Dude, Bob Backlund.
It's Bob Backlund.
Fuck Backlund's ass. What are you on about, mate?
It's
Bob Backlund. He's
it's
fucking
Bob.
Superman.
Bob Backlund's pretty fucking like.
Yeah, maybe the Superman of fucking. Well, actually, no, I'm not gonna say that either because that's really offensive. But fuck you, Bob Backlund. Number 2 is Bruno Sammartino's longest reign as WWF World Heavyweight Champion of 2,803 days.
We don't talk about Bruno.
I ain't seen that movie.
You haven't seen Encanto?
I haven't seen it, but I have heard the song because Luna Trix blasts it out of her kite every time I see her, and I want to fucking throttle her.
It's a good film. Encanto's a good film.
Up, Tanvir, I hate you. And coming in at number 1, the Fabulous Moolah held the WWF Women's Championship for 10,170 days.
Wait.
All right, so this is the goal to beat for me and Cruz when we become CWP Tag Team Champions when we dethrone Good Goth Almighty at the next show.
Breaking news: Good Goth Almighty will no longer be defending the tag team titles against Bromance. They have been replaced by SAG.
SAG.
Shits and giggles, man.
Cam,
What?
do you want to know how many years 10,170 days is?
I'm gonna say
5.
30.
2.5.
You're close.
2.5. That's it. This
Aaron's-
podcast is over. I've had enough.
Aaron's really close. It's about 28 years.
Fucking 28. Yeah, how many? Do we know how many times she defended that belt? Probably like 6
Well,
times.
28
in between
years.
Slave trafficking, innit?
Cam, you'll be
come
about
on.
50 if you were to hold a belt that long.
Yeah, people live to 50, Tanvir.
Wait, what?
I don't think you will.
Oh,
Cam, I
fuck,
don't
you
think you
won't.
will.
Meanwhile, while I'm vaping,
That's like what? That's like what? Half an Elizabeth reign. That's nothing.
That is arguably the greatest soundbite in the history of this podcast. I cannot wait to splice that and put it on Instagram. Right, I'm out of news because I couldn't be asked to look anymore. Tanvir, anything you want to talk about? Any news that's why you're giggling your ass off about half the Elizabeth reign?
Oh my god. It's just because Cam can't do math.
I'm more amused by half the Elizabeth reign. That is
Yeah.
definitely going to be the name of this.
Yeah, half Elizabeth reign. There's not much news. I know AEW Grand Slam is starting in about an hour and a half, so
That's
that
not
seems
news.
exciting.
Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan's winning.
Yeah, Bryan Danielson's going to become champ, hopefully.
Really? Have they already announced that he will then or something? Was that leaked? Or
No, he's
that-
just winning.
who's
He's
he
just-
facing?
John Moxley.
All right, yeah. So there's some wrestling apparently tonight. I look forward to watching Impact tomorrow because that'll be
Yeah.
proper good. Yeah. So it's time for any other business. Anything you want to talk about?
I recently saw Get Out.
Any good?
Get Out's really good. I
Jordan
checked.
Peele's first major film, right?
Yeah, I checked out another film that I think me and Carl spoke a lot of, but none of us has seen. I finally saw Birds of Prey. It's really good.
What the
Yeah,
DC?
I thought it was banging.
Yeah, the Harley Quinn. Yeah,
Still
Harley
haven't
Quinn.
seen it.
It's really good.
I'm a massive DC mark, but I haven't seen Justice
I
League.
think
No, it's worth the watch.
I think Ewan McGregor would be a better Riddler than he was Black Mask, but he was still a great Black Mask. He was
I
still really
liked
good.
him.
I can't
It's
wait to
funny.
isolate the soundbite of him saying he was still a great Black Mask. Something I want to talk about. Oh, I did get my habanero Nike dunks, which are fucking
nice.
well fit.
Oh, my
Right.
dad got some new shoes actually. Hang on,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go grab them. I'll be too.
Yeah.
All right, this will make for a great fucking
No.
podcast on YouTube.
I'm gonna
Get his dad's shoes.
yeah, I'm gonna throw to something to you that you might be interested in because oh
No, I'm still here. Please.
oh
go.
okay no
It seemed like really bad timing, but I want
no
to.
that's cool. Yeah, because Capcom's doing Street Fighter 6 and Bandai just showed Tekken 8. I think NetherRealm might be going with Mortal Kombat 12.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 11 was fucking swag. So.
Yeah, so people are still saying is that will
Yo,
NetherRealm do Injustice 3 or will
Do
they
you
just
mind?
skip it?
Tanvir is talking. Don't be so rude.
Nah, that's fine. I want to see the shoes. I want to
Yeah,
see the
come
yeah,
crap
check
game.
these out. Check these out. So these are my dad's new ones.
Yo,
Don't
I'm
know
joking.
that.
no,
That's the decoy.
Cam,
That's the decoy bet. That's the
Cam,
decoy.
why? I
I
thought me and your
will
dad
kill
were
you.
about to. I thought me and your dad were about to be best friends. I love crap.
You
I
like-
love Crocs.
Right, okay, you are officially banned from this fucking
Dude,
podcast.
say I like
I
Crocs are for gimps.
I was a lifeguard.
You are
Crocs were the
Those
best.
the Vanchettas.
I believe they are the Vanchetta.
They're good, but are they as good as habanero dunks? Look at that. They've even got fucking transparent
keyed out.
sections on them. Those are
That's
green. by the
fucking
way.
awesome.
Green has taken them out. These
Those
are
are nice shoes.
that bit there, the tick is all like suede and furry and shit. It's very
Ooh.
naughty.
Just have
Yeah.
a nice smell of the fresh shoe.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like Velveteen Dream right now.
Oh my god, I'm
God.
Oh no!
Look at my shoe, guys.
no, so you went to the toilet and left your camera on, is that what you're saying?
Oh my god.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Honestly, I can't wait till we get
I
sued.
got my shoe.
Yeah, people are like, I'm sorry, how can you not Crocs are for fucking freaks and
Dude,
sexual.
I
fucking
would-
hate Crocs.
I wear them around the house, but when I was a lifeguard, they were legit lifesavers because they would just like slip on and you could
You're
dash.
supposed to be the lifesaver in that scenario.
Yeah, they were great. Crocs were awesome.
Right.
Yeah, my dad goes
lifeguard.
camping a lot. So
Dude, I love
Yeah,
Crocs.
fucking
I love
carry on
Crocs.
camping, more like dogging. Fucking state of those things, honestly. You tell Batista I hate him.
Now I've got the image of Cam's dad just fucking in Crocs, just out in the wilderness. Because you said dogging. Just...
just got into the Lunatrix psyche.
Oh my god. Yeah, Lunatrix has got it bad for your dad, man.
Yeah.
So, anyone see that terrible shoot interview this week?
What terrible shoot interview?
The one that I did.
Oh, I listened to
Yeah,
a bit of it.
thanks for paying attention, Tanvir. I like
Sorry.
Crocs and I don't watch any Wrestle Plug content, even though I'm on
I
it.
do. I just saw that you
Oh, and you
uploaded-
didn't bother to turn up last week. What the fuck were you up to?
I was
Oh,
having-
yeah. Send us an invite, mate. Yeah, I'll definitely do it. Love being on it.
Sorry, I stayed up the night before watching Nintendo Direct and PlayStation State
Love
of
how
Play.
Cam's playing those. Like, I'm such a G. Because you share your shoes with your dad, don't you?
Yeah, we're the same size, so we just buy all the same shit.
Okay. So, yeah, bottom line is, yeah, stuff and things, and shoes and dogging. Anything else?
God of War Ragnarok looks cool.
There's another
Yeah.
film coming out.
Well, there's another what film?
What did you say? Something looks cool. What was it?
Oh, I said a God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, I have no
It's a
idea. Is that the
video
next
game.
God of War game? Isn't it?
It-
I've never played a God of War game. Aren't they exclusive to PlayStation?
PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
be why, because I am not a virgin. So
Yeah, we
yeah.
got box.
I'd say the God of War 4, that's on PC now, so if you want to test that out, you can.
Yeah, can we do a watch along of Home Alone?
Home Alone, the greatest Christmas film of all time. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's just do a watch along of it.
Can we just splice Crucy's face over Macaulay Culkin for the whole film?
Home Alone 1 or Home Alone 2?
Nah, one's
Well, I
there.
said Home Alone, not Home Alone 2. So
Yeah, come on, man.
Okay, yeah.
keep up.
You think number 2 is better, do you, Tanvir?
I like flip-flop between them because I'm like, some years I'm like, oh yeah, I really like one.
Flip-flops? You wear those as well? You
No, I
fucking-
don't. I can't wear flip-flops. I
You know
find
they
them
call
so
them
uncomfortable.
thongs in Australia.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, which
Okay.
leads me to believe that a load of women are walking around with flip-flops between their legs.
Hey.
I'm retiring.
Romance does not approve.
I'm retiring.
Yeah, same. As soon as Tanvir admitted that he likes Crocs, and I've had him on too many podcasts, I'm just like, yeah, this is
I'm
kind of like a spider
sorry.
scenario where I just need to blowtorch the entire house. Like, just burn the fucking podcast to the
What's
ground.
wrong with spiders?
They're What's wrong with What's right with them? They're fucking demonic little.
They're
cunts.
cool.
They are. Like, I hate it when people are like, don't kill them. Nah, fuck that shit, mate. Spiders are literally Satan's fucking warriors, mate. I'm not having that.
Nah, spiders are the G's. That's
If-
going in the
if there's-
Romance Hall of Fame.
If there's just
A bit
Spiders.
like
if-
your slow motion camera, you fucking gimp. Honestly. Yeah, I'm glad that Cameron Anderson's camera has gone a bit wanky and bust because, frankly, fuck that guy and his terrible opinions. Fuck you, Tanvir, for liking Crocs. So, yeah, bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, plenty of news this week. None of it interesting whatsoever, but hopefully you enjoyed this State of Wrestling address either way. And, of course, we'll ignore the fact that Tanvir apparently finds it very funny.
Me, what happened? What are you, blind? Jesus!
Yeah.
I apologize. It's cut.
Fucking cut them. We're done here, pal. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching the State of Wrestling address from Cameron Anderson, who will no doubt be wrestling very soon, and dismantling a couple of goth gimps for some tag titles from Tanvir Verdi, who will no doubt be wearing Crocs while watching Cameron Anderson's dad bang one out in a local dogging site. And of course, from the Egyptian Death Machine, Aeron Nix, who will no doubt be offending every single person possible because he's a fat cunt. Thank you very much for watching the State of Wrestling address, and we'll catch you very soon for more content from the Wrestle Plug. Whoa!